Cool. Hi everyone. So I will get started. Good morning to all our Canadian partners on this office hours, and good afternoon to those of you in the UK. Thank you everyone for joining. I am Nav Saral. I'm a solutions architect here at Intuit, and I help our partners integrate to QuickBooks, to QuickBooks using our developer platform and the associated APIs. I have a few of my colleagues on the call to help with the Q&A at the end of the session. So I have Ashika, Lakshana, and Shweta on the call as well. We're excited you've joined us today to talk about the evolution of our developer platform and the introduction of our new partner program, and importantly, how it can help build and grow your partnership with us here at Intuit. So there's a few topics that I'll cover today, primarily an overview of the Intuit App Partner Program, which was launched in the US a few months ago towards the end of July, and is now coming to Australia, the UK, and all regions of Canada, excluding Quebec, in November. Then I'll cover what the next steps you need to take are and the timelines of the rollout across those regions. Then I'll talk about our premium APIs, which are a new benefit that we're introducing as a part of the program. And finally, I'll cover a few ways to optimize your API calls, and then we'll leave time for Q&A at the end of the session. If you do have any questions in the meantime, do post those in the Zoom chat window, and we'll answer those at the end of the session. So why are we introducing an app partner program? So we're moving away from an environment where there's limited assistance from Intuit, not a lot of joint planning, and it can be difficult for you as an app partner to differentiate in the marketplace. And we're moving to a model where we're going to offer dedicated technical support based on your needs. We'll offer proactive tech consultation by carrying out integration audit reviews, providing advice on how you can improve your integration to better serve our shared customers. We will do joint planning with you, where our product development roadmap considers your needs as an app provider. And finally, we want to improve the discoverability for your apps and help promote and spotlight them in the marketplace. So with that, I'd like to introduce the Intuit App Partner Program. Our program starts with the concept of tiering. So we're going from a one-size-fits-all developer platform, and we are now introducing 4 tiers, from builder at the base to silver, gold, and all the way up to platinum. So as you increase in tier, you get access to more benefits. What we're striving for is, by providing these benefits to you, you're able to grow and in turn get access to more benefits that help you grow more. It's a continuously increasing cycle where we're both contributing to each other's success. In addition to the benefits, we're also providing increased API credits in each tier. And we'll talk about API credits in a bit more detail further in the session. So our benefits are designed around 3 core pillars. First, how do you build and innovate on the platform, whether it's a brand new integration or enhancing an integration that you have already invested in building on our developer platform. Secondly, how do we go to market together? How do we ensure that there's visibility both ways and a focus on truly growing the business? And third, how do we engage across our teams? How do we build this deep, productive partnership across these pillars to better serve our shared customers? So this slide just goes over some of the benefits as at a glance. These benefits are detailed in our program guide on developer.intuit.com, which we highly recommend you review to get a more in-depth overview of all the benefits listed here. But to begin, so within the Builder tier, our partners get build and engage benefits. Builder tier partners get to create an app. They get access to all our documentation and tooling, and they get access to sandboxes to test their integration. And they also get access to our APIs. We'll talk a bit more about how our APIs are going to be categorized going forward. Builder tier partners will also get support via our community forums going forward. So silver tier partners will get access to our premium APIs, and this is where the grow benefits also begin. So within silver tier, you can list on our app market store. You can get self-service access to our partner resource center, or PRC, that provides you with very valuable marketing assets. You get standard developer support, as in you can create tickets with our support team at this level. Going up a tier to gold tier, you get all the benefits of silver. And in addition, you get app badging. You get a dedicated account manager. You get technical consult and support from some of the team here, but also a wider team spread out across the globe, where we review your integration and help you improve it. And we have a constant channel open to you directly to our teams to help answer any of your questions. In our platinum tier, in addition to everything listed in gold, you also get a feature rotator in our app marketplace. This will help you differentiate your app in the marketplace, and you get enhanced support on our PRC. Again, do review our program guide. We'll show how to access our program guide a bit further down, but do review that. That has some very, very valuable information in there, found on developer.intuit.com. So each of the tiers has requirements. For all tiers, you would need to meet our compliance requirements, including accepting our terms and conditions, and you need to answer our questionnaire and have it approved. For silver, gold, and platinum, you would also need to enter your payment details. And when it comes to app listing, for silver, you don't need to list your app, although this option becomes available to you. But for gold and platinum, having an app listing is mandatory. And finally, for gold, we have a requirement of having 500 active connections. And at the platinum tier, we have a requirement of 3,000 active connections as a minimum. And the way we count active connections is how many QuickBooks companies you have connected to your app, and how many of those are active connections, i.e. they have been used within the last 100 days. So this slide here just provides an overview of how we are categorizing our APIs going forward. And this will lead on to how our fee structure will be established going forward. So we're launching 2 API categories: core APIs on the left here and core plus on the right. So core APIs covers all data in operations, anything that involves creating an entity on QuickBooks, whether that's invoices, bills, customers, vendors. These calls will be unmetered and uncharged, so there's no limits to how many core API calls you can make. On the right here, we have our core plus APIs, and this covers most data out operations, with a few exceptions like the batch endpoint, which we will cover in a bit more detail again later in the call. And we have a full list of API entities, HTTP methods, and patterns available on our Developer Help Center. So you can take a look at those. These are also shown on our new analytics dashboard. So we'll come to that as well later. So as a part of this evolution, we're also making a fundamental change to our platform with the implementation of platform service fees. The first component of this is a monthly program fee. This fee differs per partner tier and unlocks the benefits of that tier: Core Plus API credits and an API rate card for calls in excess of the included credits. The builder tier is excluded from the flat program fee. The second component is API credits and variable API fees. So API credits are an included allotment of API calls segmented by category, Core or Core Plus. All tiers include an uncapped number of core API credits. For Core Plus API credits, the builder tier will include 500,000 credits per month. Any Core Plus API calls made above the included monthly credit will be blocked. And that effectively means you'll receive a 429 HTTP error once that 500,000 limit is breached within that period. For partners looking to expand their usage and unlock benefits, you may wish to subscribe to our first paid tier, the Silver tier. The Silver tier provides 1 million Core Plus API credits. And rather than blocking any additional calls entirely, any Core Plus calls made above the included monthly credit will be subject to variable API fees, which will be metered and charged according to the applicable rate card. This methodology also applies to both the Gold and Platinum tiers, with increasing levels of Core Plus API credits as well as improved API rate cards. There are a few additional points to note here. We only meter successful API calls, so anything returning a 200 to 202 2XX HTTP status code will be metered. The payment method and relevant billings apply at a workspace level rather than an app level. So all apps within a workspace are aggregated to calculate the API credits. API calls and API so the variable API fee operates on a tiered volume structure. API calls are charged at the given rate within the volume tier. API calls that go beyond one volume tier will be charged at the rate of the next volume tier. So I will now just go through what the next steps you need to take are as an app provider on our developer ecosystem. So the first thing that you need to do is to log into developer.intuit.com. When you do that, you'll be prompted to enter your company address. And this, you need to choose the correct country, populate your company's address, and click next to save. This address drives when you will have access to the App Partner Program. For US partners, this was launched back in July, so anyone with a US address would have access to the partner program since July. UK, any developers that add a UK, Australian, or Canadian address will have access to the partner program from the 3rd of November. The one exception to that is within Canada, if you have an address within the Quebec region, that will not be included in November. That will follow at a later stage. The next step would be to review your API usage. So again, at the workspace, you would log into developer.intuit.com, navigate to your workspace and to your app. And then on the left-hand side, there's an analytics option, and after clicking on that, you will see something similar to this graph here. You can look at that based on a number of different time periods, and this will allow you to best make sense of which tier makes sense for your app. And the primary thing you'll be looking at here is your Core Plus API volume. And again, this provides a breakdown of what those Core and Core Plus API calls would be. The program guide, again, is available at developer.intuit.com. Please do go through this. This has all the information around the tiers that we've covered here, the requirements and the benefits for you to review. We highly recommend all partners on our developer platform review the program guide. Timelines briefly mentioned. So the next milestone for us is on October the 14th. You will be able to view your subscription and billing tab within developer.intuit.com. This will look like this. This will allow you to choose your plan. So the first step would be, again, this is detailed within the program guide, but the first step would be to choose the plan that's relevant to you, or request an upgrade if that's applicable to you to one of our higher tiers. From the 3rd of November, we will begin metering API volume for Core Plus APIs, and our platform program benefits will be available from that date. So now I'll quickly run through our new premium APIs. These are our newly available APIs that are one of the key benefits as part of the program. The first is the Projects API. So Projects is a feature in QuickBooks that helps you organize all transactions, time and expenses to a specific client or job. You can associate projects with customers, invoices, bills, and other QuickBooks transaction types. And doing so, you can get better insights, do budgeting, cost allocation, etc. Projects in QuickBooks is only available in Plus, Advanced, and Accountant SKUs. The Projects API will be available for Silver, Gold, and Platinum partners. And with the new Projects API, you'll be able to create, read, and update and delete projects in QuickBooks. These APIs use GraphQL. You'll also be able to allocate transactions to these projects, and those APIs you may already be using our existing REST-based APIs that we have for transactions. This will enable you to make your integration richer, where you can have custom project management dashboards, enhanced reporting and analytics, automated budgeting, or cost allocation. For more details on this API, please refer to our documentation. We'll also be releasing videos and blog posts in the near future, and we'll also be holding specific office hours for each of the new premium APIs, which you can sign up to on developer.intuit.com. The second premium API that we're releasing is custom fields. So custom fields in QuickBooks lets users add personalized data fields to forms and transactions. This helps the business capture information unique to their operations. Custom fields are supported for transactions, sales and purchase, and entities, customer, vendor. Customer fields in QuickBooks are available in Essentials, Plus, Advanced, and Accountant SKUs. The APIs are available for gold and platinum partners. And with this API, you can create, read, update, and disable custom fields in QuickBooks. You can create transactions and entities with custom fields. You can make your integration richer, where you can build industry-specific integrations. Sorry. For example, construction job codes are healthcare billing tags. Third new API is the payroll compensation API. This provides the ability to read different payroll compensation types available to employees, and using this data, you can write enhanced time entries in QuickBooks Online for streamlined payroll. This feature is available only in the US and Canada at this time for QuickBooks Online payroll users. In terms of developers, this is only available to developers in our gold and platinum tiers, and the API type is GraphQL. And the fourth one is the sales tax computation API. This allows you to efficiently compute sales tax based on inputs such as location of sale. This API integrates seamlessly into your system to return detailed sales tax rates and amounts to ensure compliance with tax regulations. This feature is only available to QuickBooks Online and Enterprise Suite users in the US. So if you are building an integration that serves customers in the US, this may be relevant to you. If you're only serving customers within the UK or Canada, then this would not be relevant. This API is available to our silver, gold, and platinum tier partners. The final section that I'll go through before I open it up to question and Q&A is API optimization. We do want to ensure all our partners are optimizing their API call volume. So we're just going to go through a few optimization techniques. So the first one that we suggest is to evaluate your business processes and APIs that you're calling to decide how often to fetch data from QuickBooks. Each application is different, but what we tend to see in general that entities on the left and on this slide are less likely to change, and those on the right are more likely to change. Again, this could be different for different app providers, so this is something that you would need to do a bit of analysis on to see how often these are changing for your customers or your customer base. And this will help drive how often you fetch data from QuickBooks. The next key technique that we would suggest is to switch to event-driven architecture using webhooks. So webhooks are push notifications that we send from QuickBooks to your app when specific changes occur to an entity. And you would only receive those notifications when an entity actually changes. This means you don't have to carry out regular polling to our APIs. Receiving webhooks are not billable. So this is an example of a event notification that we would send to your endpoint. This is not billable. But on the back of this, if you make a read API call, those are billable. And you can use webhooks to replace both user-initiated and automated syncs with low-volume reactive reads instead. Now, just go through a number of options we have to help you reduce the number of calls you need to make, including batch, change data capture, and query APIs. So our batch endpoint allows you to include 30 core plus requests, payloads in one call. This is charged as one API call in the API metering. We do recommend to reduce any core API calls that you include in a batch. Core API calls are free from a metering perspective. So we suggest maximizing the number of chargeable core plus APIs in your batch requests to us. The next is the change data capture endpoint. This handles a maximum of 1,000 objects or entities, and it includes a full payload for those entities. You can query multiple transactions over a period of time. In this example, you can see the entities that you can include, for example, in a CDC call, and you can include, you would need to include the company ID, the entity list that you want to fetch those changed objects for, and the change since parameter. And the third one we have is to maximize the query endpoint. So use parameters wherever possible. Rather than fetching all the data, fetch the data that you need. So for example, select star from vendor where active is true if you only want to fetch active vendors. The default page size is 100, but we do suggest using the maximum allowable page size. Again, if you include these allow you to maximize and reduce the number of individual read calls that you would need to make to us. Hopefully, those few techniques, we do have a recording of a more in-depth API optimization webinar that our team held, available on developer.intuit.com, but you can also reach out to us to